Hi, this is Bjorn from Skeino. It's time again to talk about some miracle of knitting. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but you will find out. Today I want to talk about rib knitting, as you need this for a sweater, for the cuffs, the neckline, or for something else, maybe an edge on a blanket or an afghan. So let's see. I have several samples ready for you to watch, and let's see if you like it or if you don't. See you in a bit. I have prepared several samples for you to show you how a rib could look like. This is just my opinion. These are just some things I like to do now and from the past, and maybe for the future I decided to have something different. So let's move something out of the picture and start with the very classical one. And so it is just a rib knit one, purl one, and as you see it has a very nice memory. Which one is the rib 1-1, and of course it is a merino as well, because the merino lily is very squishy, and so that's very simple. The classical rib knit 1, purl 1. When you cast on, you have to be aware of that the cast on line is not too long or too short, because when you stretch it, it should not be tight, so it would go like this. It should be just fine, but it has to snip back, not to curl outside or so. So this is just very simple, very easy. And you see when the stockinette stitch body parts start, so it grabs this nicely together. And on the same sample I have a different one on top here, which one is not as elastic as the first one, but I like this one pretty much because it doesn't grabs the knitted part so together. And I will show you what I did. I have some stitches just being crossed, and it's very easy. So it's knit 1, purl 1. I'm on the back row, but it doesn't matter. So I have a purl stitch here, and the knit stitch, I am not knitting the back leg. I'm going in the front leg and cross the two legs, you see here. So that's all, and you do this on the front row and on the back row. Just knit the front leg and it will be crossed over, and it gives this a little bit different appearance. So you knit the front leg and the two legs are being, let me grab another knitting needle here to show it. So you see the two legs are crossed here. So when you turn your work, you do this on the front row the same way, and that's all what needs to be done. So let me finish the row and I can show it to you again. Okay. So that's what it does. So you see it gives us a little texture, and it's maybe not so boring than just knit 1, purl 1. So this is my first sample. My second sample I'm holding up for you so you can look through the stitches. It is a rib Purl-Two and knit 3 on the front side, and the center stitch is with yarn over, so it's like all knit 1 below. So you see the loops here, or the stitches, are every other row, and they're a little bit pulled in the length, but it is a very nice texture, in addition to just having knit and purl stitches for the rib. And even on the back side it looks very interesting. So you have these 2 stitches here, which one on the back side are knit, and the yarn overs and the knit one or not knit one below makes a nice texture in between. This looks pretty rustic, and I like it very much so on my own sweater. So, and that the 2 stitches left and right from the center stitch, which one is knitted with yarn over, not falling apart or having a bad shape, I cross the legs when I have the front row, and I want to show you how I'm doing this. It's very easy, but it looks kind of really pretty nice. So I slip my first stitch, and here are the 2 purl stitches, no, 2 purl stitches, and then that one here I do like before. I'm not knitting the back leg, I'm knitting the front leg to cross the line, and here is my stitch and the yarn over, which one are being knit, and here I cross the leg again to keep it in place and keep, so you can see it here, it's crossed over, the 2 stitches in between, and then knit with crossed legs, knit the yarn over and the stitch together, knit with crossed legs, purl and purl, knit with the crossed legs, knit the front leg, yarn over and stitch together, and again put a little bit of my yarn here, the 2 purl stitches. I want to show you the back row when I do the yarn over, crossed legs, the stitch and the yarn over, crossed legs, and the 2 purl stitches. So I'm turning my work. So this is a back row, or you can use this as front row if you like it better. I slip the first, the second, and now I purl and I slip with the yarn over, and I purl the 2 knit stitches and purl, purl, slip with yarn over and purl. These are the 3 stitches. Each one in the front show the different texture. So purl with yarn over, slip, purl, the 2 between, purl with yarn over and purl, and 2 knit stitches, and the row is done on my swatch. So let me show you again here. So here are the crossed legs on that one, and the yarn over with the long stitch. So it's actually very, very simple. Let me put this down and stretch it a little bit so you can see it makes this a nice rib, and can be attractive and the design piece for your sweater. The next sample is one of my oldest pattern. I learned very, very early in my life, and I started pulling stitches through on a different place, so I really don't like it all the time. And I want to show you how to do this rib. So it's very simple, but it makes this a nice, it's almost like little braids on top on the purl background. So, and on the back side it's a little bit boring, it just looks like all knit. So, and I want to show you how I'm doing this. The setup is 3 stitches in between, they are purled on the front side, and 2 stitches are knit, which one does the rib here. This does this little braids, or it's almost a little cable. So I want to show you how I'm doing this. It's very simple. It's always the knit stitches are being knit and the purl stitches are being purled. So this is a bag. I have the 3 purl stitches, and now I'm reaching the little braid. And what I'm doing is I go from the front 1 row below and just pull the yarn through a little longer. You have to figure out how long and knit the next 2 together. So I make 1, increase 1 and decrease 1. So the 3 in the between, all purled, and then 1 below, and pull this yarn through and knit 2 together. So it's very, very simple, but it makes this a really, really nice rustic rib, and you don't need any extra helping needles to do the little cable here. So 1 below, over 2 stitches, pull the stitch through. It needs to be always mostly the same length. 2 stitches, 3 in between, 3 purls, and knit over 2 and below 1 and knit 2 together. So here are my 3 purl stitches, and the back row is very, very simple. The purl stitches are being knit and the knit stitches are being purled. So that's very, very, very simple, easy to remember. So here are the 3, they are being knitted now, and these 2 are being purled. So 3 are knitted, and where my little cable is, just purl 1 and 2. So that's all. My oldest rib I like over many, many years. My last sample I want to share with you is a rib 3, knit 3, purl 3, which one you can see on the very beginning here. So there 1, 2, 3 knit and 3 purl, knit, purl. Very easy. And I did something with on the right side because the wrong side doesn't show any excitement. You see just the knit and purl rows, but this is kind of nice. It makes this a nice texture. It creates maybe some little cables instead of just 3 stitches on the front and knit stitches on the front. And it's very simple, and believe it or not, I did again the knit yarn over knit, and I will show you how the pattern comes together here. So because I'm knitting 3 stitches together, and then the row afterwards I make 2. So it's the 3rd stitch from the 3 purl stitches, and now I just knit all 3 stitches together. It takes a little practice. So it's just the 3 together, and here the 3 purl stitches in between, knit the 3 together, the 2 knit stitches knitted together, 3 purl stitches in between, 3 together, oops, and the 3 purl stitches. And I have here actually 4 with the last stitch for the edge. And now we lost the 2 stitches here in our, what shows now the purl side. We have only 1 stitch instead of 3, so we have to make 2 stitches. And for this reason we just use, or I decided to do the same what I showed you a week ago. Here are my 4, they are now knit stitches, and here is the 1 stitch. So, but now I have to increase, and I purl 1 stitch, yarn over, and I purl 1 stitch, and I have 3 on my needle. Now I do the 3 knit stitches, they are on the front row purl wise. So purl, yarn over, I hold the yarn on my needle, and purl. It takes a little practice, but it's nice. So knit, 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 and the purl, hold the yarn over, and knit again. And then I have made 2, so I have my 3 stitches back. So knit, and it makes a little hole. We're knitted together here, but it makes a lot. It has a nice texture. When you go over it, you can feel the ribs. So it has a good memory. It snips back, and you have something special. Maybe you like it on your next sweater. It works nicely around the neck, or turtleneck you can do with this pattern, and as well maybe a longer cuff on a sweater or jacket. So these are my samples for your next rib knitting on a sweater, jacket, or afghan. Thank you for watching.